Taoiseach, Mr. Mayor, Minister, Consul General, MPs, MLAs, fellow Chamber members, guests, friends. Londonderry has never been better in my lifetime. It's never looked better, and more importantly, it's never felt better. The city is on a journey. Any student of history will tell you that journeys of evolution never stop because time marches on. But what matters to society, or what matters to progress, is the quality of the journey. And we feel good. We feel more than positive. We feel confident. We are not yet a healed community, but we are a healing community. That process alone is a journey of thousands of baby steps that we are all involved in. And Taoiseach, we thank you for your government's active moral and financial support for reconciliation projects in this city. Now we define ourselves not by reference to somewhere else or to someone else, but by reference to ourselves. And confidence is infectious, and confidence travels. And because the digital revolution has made peripherality obsolete, Derry has been delivering its earthy, post-conflict, tech-literate, creative and useful thing instantly to the world. It's a good news story, and the world is loving it, and the world is visiting us in this quite magnificent year of culture. All of us, I suppose, will have our own wee magic moments from this year, from this, I would say, magic year. One of mine was during the fabulous Return of Colin Kill celebrations, when I had the occasion to introduce the BBC News arts editor from London to the correspondent from The Economist magazine, who was doing a video piece on Derry's digital revolution, and the guy from the BBC said, well, you're from The Economist. What do you make of it all? And the guy from The Economist, who's an American, said, it's outstanding. I've seen the most confident and the most creative talents, and I think it's wonderful. There was a pause, and the guy from the BBC said, yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. And in fact, he tweeted, I didn't think #legendary had enough time and money to make it a success of being UK City of Culture. Well, I was wrong. It's a magical place. So why does the optimism of the people matter to the business community? Well, of course, we like the full hotels. We like the 40-odd new businesses that have started up or substantially expanded in the city centre in the last year or so. And we like the continued double-digit growth in tourist numbers. And even better than that is that Derry is fast becoming an exciting go-to place for young, globally literate, tech-savvy talent to choose to live, to work, to study, and start a business. This is important because the global recovery is big city oriented, and business development is innovation oriented. And the future is that in the United States, 90% of new jobs are created in businesses that are under 5 years old. So we can see this trend in the Republic in Dublin, and we can see it in England and London. Investment has always followed natural resources, and in an era when our natural resources is our talent, investment follows talent, and talent is mobile. The challenge for smaller cities is to find a viable role in this new world, and it's a big challenge. And the solution is in developing and attracting talent, now more than ever. So when people ask me, what is the legacy of the City of Culture? I say, it is the people's confidence, their comfort in their own skin, their enthusiasm for trying stuff creatively, technologically, entrepreneurially, their readiness to bring their ideas and products straight to New York or to Shanghai or to London without feeling that they first must run it past and get the approval of some form of elders and betters in our heads. That is the legacy. That is the product that Derry is selling, and we hope that it will become the product for Northern Ireland as a whole. For Chamber, the product is best encapsulated in culture tech, described by the Irish Times technology correspondent as attracting thinkers, doers and talkers from all over Ireland, the UK, Europe and America. He said culture tech set out its stall in the Venn diagram between culture and technology and went out to play. So some stats from this year's Culture Tech. We achieved an audience of 24,000, including 9,000 kids. There were 200 media articles generated. There were over 50 international speakers from North America, Europe and Japan. There was the participation from CERN, the New York Philharmonic, the Tate, the Barbican, the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, the Museum of Toulouse, YouTube, Nintendo, Seagate, Bombardier, BT, and over 15 All-Ireland companies. So it's no secret that for the last 2 or 3 years, your chamber has been putting its shoulder to the wheel of the creative digital economy. And I'm proud to remind you that this chamber, representing a record 501 local businesses, created and owns Culture Tech. It is our principal contribution to the City of Culture and to its tangible legacy. Bigger and badder plans are already afoot for next year's Culture Tech, and all I will tell you is that they're going to be even more globally heavy-hitting and even more nerdy and engaging than this year. Our good news stories in Derry are not all digital. The announcement on Wednesday of the $11.5 million Centre for Stratified Medicine at CTRIC, creating 22 high-quality research posts, is to be wholeheartedly welcomed. And the University of Ulster, the Western Trust, the Department of Enterprise, Trade and Investment, and the Department of Health are to be congratulated. This announcement builds on the excellent cross-border and cross-Atlantic work that CTRIC have been pioneering in the field of translational medicine. But what makes this announcement so particularly exciting is the creation by the University of Ulster of a first in UK and first in Ireland undergraduate degree course in stratified medicine. This will attract talent from all over Britain and Ireland to study in Derry, and this ongoing supply of talent will fuel significant further growth over time in what is Northern Ireland's translational medicine hub. We also welcome the commencement of the construction of the Northwest Regional Science Park on the Fort George site. And we applaud the Northern Ireland Science Park for having the courage to spread to Derry the rip-roaring success story that the Science Park and the Titanic Court in Belfast is. As Frank Hewitt will tell you later on this evening, this Derry Park will be about so much more than bricks and mortar. And within 9 months, it will physically be another icon of innovation and confidence on our beautiful riverfront. We must remember also that the Northwest Regional Science Park is a cross-border collaboration with Letterkenny Institute of Technology, an organisation which remains in the vanguard of regional All-Ireland collaboration. And the Regional Science Park will find common cause with a range of Indigenous science and technology success stories. The continued export success of E&I Engineering, Cornerstone Automation Systems, and Fleming Agri Products, to name but 3, stand out as exporting to pretty much every continent. We applaud also the many more local technology and engineering export success stories that sometimes don't get the kudos they deserve locally as their selling focus is elsewhere. So Derry has the product. So our task now is to sell that product and continue selling it to America, to London, to Dublin, to Belfast. We can't do it on our own, and others will help, and others are helping. Londonderry Chamber in the past has been critical of Invest Northern Ireland's record of selling dairy to foreign direct investors, but tonight we give credit where credit is due. Invest brought their overseas representatives to Derry earlier this year. The city sold them its product, and Invest brought back to Derry 2 American high-scale potential inward investors during the Culture Tech Festival. This selling collaboration must continue, and it must convert into real jobs, and I'm delighted to say that Smith Dane, one of these potential inward investors, have allowed me to say that they are in the final stages of negotiations to set up in Derry with a plan to hire 75 international media lawyers to service the US and European markets. So our selling task, however, would be so much easier were the executive to take 2 leadership decisions, both of which would be the right things to do for Northern Ireland. Firstly, I mentioned the word journey earlier. Even though our citizens' journey is in the abstract, there is no doubt that the lack of an easy physical journey between Derry and Belfast and Derry and Dublin is a barrier to trade. Derry is the 4th largest city in Ireland, yet Ireland's 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 6th and 7th cities are all directly connected to Dublin by motorway, while Google Maps directions gives an average speed of 36 miles per hour for the first hour and a half of the journey from Derry to Dublin. This is not acceptable. The lack of a motorway to Belfast also remains a real barrier to foreign direct investment in Derry. Our good friend, the Lord Mayor of the City of London, said as much when he stated that to compete, Derry needs to be within 1 hour of a major international airport. There's to be an announcement next week by the executive about reallocation of capital underspend, We hope that sections of the A6 will benefit from this. And in addition, we know that the European Investment Bank is keen to finance the A6, but we don't know whether there is executive support for this. And if it isn't, our political leaders need to tell us what their plan B is. We need roads so we can trade. The expansion of the University of Ulster at Magee remains a key area of focus for Chamber and is one that requires strategic intervention from the executive. Human talent is the name of the game, and Northern Ireland exports 1/3 of its undergraduates to Britain. I am pleased to say, however, that reasonable progress is being made. The Department of Employment and Learning Minister, Dr. Stephen Farrelly, has confirmed that the 2015 interim 1,000 additional places target contained in Derry's One Plan will be met. And we commend the Executive for releasing the funds, and we commend the University of Ulster for sticking to their commitment to put these places in Magee. For the subsequent second phase of growth to get Magee to the 9,400 full-time equivalent places, Dr. Farrelly has laid out what he requires, and we are pleased that the University of Ulster, Derry City Council, the political parties, the Skills Directorate and the Chamber are working proactively and positively together to fulfil those requirements in the given timeline. All of us in this room sincerely hope that when my successor is standing here next year giving his speech, that this collaborative endeavour will have turned into a tangible deliverable. This is an issue that is not going away. So when I was thinking about what I was going to say tonight, I asked my 15-year-old to describe Derry. He said that Derry is a living city. It's small enough that it's easy. It's big enough that it still holds surprises. It's a beautiful city. It's a tech city. It's an earthy city. It is what Northern Ireland should be and what Northern Ireland could be. I agree with him, but I would go further. Smaller cities in Europe would give their eye teeth to have a citizenry as engaged and committed to this civic journey. They would desire our sense of purpose and optimism. They would envy our digitally fueled creative industries, our Northwest Regional Science Park, our CETRIC. But most importantly, they would covet our commitment to nurture and drive the product forward. It is and it must be original, quality, organic, globally literate, socially sustainable, and technologically smart. Ladies and gentlemen, in this most magnificent year, we are the product, and the selling never stops. Thank you very much.